Hey, I'm Scott and I'm an American in Bangkok. You know, I get all these letters and most of them are, you know, questions asking, oh, should I do this? Do I have enough? What do you recommend? Blah, 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 blah. Thankfully, I got a message today from a guy. He says, my name is Rick. I've been going to Thailand for about 2 years. I somehow stumbled onto your videos about a month ago. I watched a couple videos and enjoyed them. So a few days later, I watched another one or two, and I have to agree with you about Thai women. It seems to me that you are giving sound advice. Well, thank you. I don't think it applies to only to Thai women. Well, you know, listen, this is not rocket science we're dealing with. This is common sense, and a lot of times relationship advice, which I never set out to give it, but it's turned into that a little bit. It's about common sense and about using your brain and patience and taking the time to get to know somebody. But he says, I think I can safely say that when it came to a Thai woman, that my wife I've been extremely lucky. It's a long story, but having been here long enough to see for it myself in Patong. Here's a brief history. I met my wife through her sister, working in a casino that I was working in. My wife was living in Udon, and from the beginning we were talking on the phone every day up to 2 hours. Many months later I went to Thailand and things clicked. I did the paperwork and brought her to the US. In the meantime, I went back to Thailand and things were the same. When she made it to the States, we got married. 5 years later, we moved to Thailand. We had a house in Karat paid off, but we were living in Patong, where her son does tattoos. I gave him the money to open a tattoo shop, no regrets. We were there over a year in Patong, and I saw plenty. Yeah, I was there for about a year, and I saw plenty too, and I prefer not to live there, you know. Last July, we finally moved to Karat. We are not youngsters. We are both 61 and very fortunate, very lucky. Many years ago, my sister-in-law wanted to introduce me to her niece, who was 17 years younger than I. And I told her I like women my own age. I think that is part of our success. So, you know, listen, Thai women get a bad rap quite often, and sometimes, you know, like I said, you gotta have common sense, man. I mean, you know now, I mean, when I came over here, there was very little on the internet. The internet was very undeveloped. There was a book I had, I still cannot remember the exact name of it to save my soul. It was something like the world's most exotic places, the world's most exotic party destinations, or something like that. It's a little thin book about I don't know, 100 pages or so, and it was big type, and it had like 10 different places in the world where you go to party. And the full moon party was one of them, and I think Bangkok was one of them. And I carried that book around me everywhere because I had that book and Let's Go Thailand. And that was it. I didn't have anything else. I had a couple of friends. I had some Dutch guys who had told me about living in Thailand and what it was like here. And I had a friend back in the US who had been here one time. That was it. Nowadays, you have the internet at your disposal. If you don't want to listen to me, you can listen to somebody else. If you don't want to listen to them, you can go somewhere else. There are forums. There are ebooks. There are all kinds of things. So there's absolutely no reason to not know what's going on. But you need to take the time to figure things out. And what I will say, and a lot of people didn't like it when I said it about working here, you need to figure it out for yourself. I can tell you, get a job teaching English. Get a job working for a real estate company or as a travel agent. You know, try to do that, which, you know, it ain't easy. Work in a restaurant as a chef. You got to have some kind of a skill in order to do it. You know, it's just not as simple as, oh, I want to live in Thailand, so I'm gonna. Well, you may want to, but, you know, listen, I want 20 million bucks. I want to be Mark Cuban for a day. I mean, you know, I want to be Mark Cuban for the rest of my life. But, you know, I want to be, you know, filthy rich. I mean, there's a lot of things that I want, but that doesn't mean that I can have them. And people wanting to come to Thailand, you know, the desire to come here is one thing. But it's good that I see every, you know, I've got this story, and I think I've got one more that are positive stories about women in Thailand. And it's good to see, because honestly, I don't really like all this bar girl talk. After a while, it just grates on me and wears me down to hear all this. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chok di lat jerk en mai.